And President-elect Trump is putting China on notice, vowing to raise tariffs by an additional 10% on all Chinese goods coming into the U.S. This all part of a plan aimed at stopping what he calls a, quote, invasion of drugs. Want to bring in Mike Gallagher, former chair of the House Select Committee on China and a head of defense at Palantir Technologies. Great to have you here today. So President Trump came out with this on Monday night, and the Chinese embassy spokesperson said this in response, that the idea of China knowingly allowing fentanyl precursors to flow into the U.S. runs completely counter to facts and reality. But when you chaired a hearing where Bill Barr said this.
The committee's work has uncovered persuasive evidence that the PRC and the CCP are not just bystanders. They are prime movers. They are knee-deep in actively sponsoring, encouraging, and facilitating the production and export of fentanyl and fentanyl precursors for distribution in the United States.
I imagine that the Chinese spokesperson's response is aimed more at their own domestic audience than ours, because I don't think anybody in America buys that, Mike.
No. To quote Xi Jinping, we must seek truth from facts. And the facts that we gathered over the course of a year-long investigation prove definitively that the Chinese Communist Party is subsidizing the export of fentanyl precursors and thereby subsidizing the death of tens of thousands of Americans. To put a point on it, they're waging chemical warfare against America. It's as if, since 200 Americans die every single day from fentanyl, they're shooting a fully packed 737 out of the air, to put it in context. So the question is why? Since nearly all the precursors for fentanyl come from China, why would they do this? I think it's fair to say because they want the chaos, they want the destruction, they want to help us destroy ourselves so they can supplant us as the world's sole superpower. It's like physician-assisted suicide, and in this case, they are literally supplying the lethal chemicals. So this is why I think it is important that President Trump impose costs on the CCP chemical companies, on the regime in China, and on the Mexican cartels to stop the scourge of fentanyl. This is an issue that I know the incoming National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, knows very well. He's been talking about this for years, and so we have to take action on this. If President Trump does nothing else besides secure the border, stop the scourge of fentanyl, and restore some semblance of deterrence with respect to China, he will have secured a massive legacy, and it's important his team stay focused on this issue and constantly communicate to the American people why it matters.
Okay, so the Wall Street Journal's Call for One says that Trump wields a tariff bludgeon. The threat of tax on imports will be his all-purpose lever in foreign and even domestic policy. How do you think the Chinese will react, or do you think, maybe the better question is, will the threat of the tariffs or the actual tariffs cause a change in behavior by the Chinese?
Well, I think the CCP will do what they've historically done, which is to corrupt business elites in America, to utilize their useful idiots in America in order to influence the administration, right? Certain people on Wall Street and in the C-suite of big companies in America continue to believe that China can become a responsible stakeholder as long as we keep giving them concessions, despite 2 decades of evidence to suggest that's nonsense. So I think that's their primary vector, which is why we shouldn't fall for it, again, like Lucy and Charlie Brown with the football. And as for tariffs, of course, there's a few things we need to do, right? You need to make a distinction between the 232 tariffs. Those are the steel and aluminum tariffs. I have not been in favor of those in the past. And the 301 tariffs, which is the aggressive action against China, which I think are sound and long overdue, and I think should be part of a broader strategy to revoke permanent normal trade relations status from China. And in order to minimize the cost on Americans when you do that, you have to have a proactive, positive trade agenda with our allies and our friends. So we're building and expanding the bounds of the free world and sharing technology with companies we trust and have a bloc that can counter China's coercive economic and trade activities.
And before I let you go, there was some good news for 3 Americans today. The Biden administration announcing that 3 American citizens who had been, they say, from the White House, wrongfully detained in China have been released. They are Mark Swindon, Kai Lee, and John Lung. They are now going to be reunited with their families. Is China? I know that Biden was talking to them at the APEC summit. Perhaps something was able to break loose there. Give you any comment on that? That news just breaking this morning.
Well, obviously, you can't help whenever we get a hostage back, but be happy for the families. I mean, it's just a terrible situation to go through. What we don't know is what we gave up in return, because we don't yet have information on the Chinese prisoners that we gave up. I suspect they're spies, and that's a steep price to pay. And China is taking Americans hostage deliberately in order to get some coercive leverage. So all the more reason, as we reset our relationship with China, or rather try to restore deterrence with China in a new administration, we need to go on offensive. We need to generate some leverage of our own. So China is so afraid to cross us, they don't even think about taking an American prisoner in China.
Deterrence in terms of strength. Exactly. Mike Gallagher, thank you, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.